This couple had an affair with each other for 14 years. But after the lovers finally broke up, they both started seeing other people. And when the other women found out that they were only the side chicks, they all confronted Frida and Diego together. What happened next was totally insane. Thanks. She became well known for her self-portraits and her deeply personal paintings that were based on her own life experiences. He was 8 years older than her and already married, but the two fell in love and had a passionate affair. Soon, Frida became pregnant with Diego's child, but tragically miscarried shortly after. Even though they were physically separated, though, they still had an intense emotional connection. The two became lovers, and Maria even starred in one of Diego's murals. However, when Frida found out that Diego had a new girlfriend, she confronted them both and told them that she wasn't done with Diego yet. She had always been open about the fact that she had affairs. But when the women that she had affairs with reached out to her after Diego's death, she was furious. She said that they had violated the vows of their love affair by going public with the news. One of the women even wrote a tell-all book about her affair with Diego, which further enraged Frida. The three of them ended up having a huge fight, and when Diego tried to leave, he slipped and fell down the stairs. Frida and Maria both rushed him to the hospital, where he later died from his injuries. Diego would call Frida's hotel room regularly to talk to her. She once said, "I never stopped loving him. I never stopped loving him, even though he broke my heart into 1,000 pieces. I have picked up those pieces for 14 years with my own hands. Loving him is better than having loved and not having loved at all." But even during these phone calls, he would talk about his new female friends that he had in Paris. This enraged Frida, and she ended their relationship for good. They wanted answers about the complicated love triangle, and maybe some closure. But when they arrived at Frida's house, she wouldn't let them in. As they were leaving though, Frida shouted, "You are nothing but a bunch of silly girls looking for publicity." Still, the two decided to get married in 1929. Even though she lived a relatively short life, she accomplished a lot. She broke barriers for women in the art world, and she paved the way for many other female artists. Although she is now considered to be one of the greatest artists of all time, she had a very rough childhood. Diego was known for being unfaithful, and he had several affairs throughout their marriage. In fact, he once had an affair with Frida's own sister, Cristina. Despite all of the drama, though, Frida and Diego could even stay away from each other, and they ended up getting back together after every breakup. They had a total of 3 separate affairs over the course of their relationship, but they always found their way back to each other. She contracted polio at the age of 6, which left her with a permanent limp. A few years later, she was in a horrific bus accident that nearly killed her. She ended up spending a year in the hospital recovering from the accident, and that's when she started painting. But before we get into it, make sure to hit that subscribe button. It really helps us keep making videos like this one. In the 20th century in Mexico, there was a famous painter named Frida Kahlo. While in the hospital, she met a famous muralist named Diego Rivera. Although their marriage was passionate, it was also extremely tumultuous. However, by the 1930s, Frida had enough of Diego's infidelity, and she moved to New York City with him. A little while later, Diego returned to Mexico alone, and he started seeing a woman named Maria Felix. Even though Diego was dead, Frida still wasn't ready to let him go. After Diego's death, Frida began to live more lives, less. In the end, All of the women who had affairs with either Frida or Diego got together and confronted them. In 1954, Frida Kahlo died of a pulmonary embolism.